Hey, what is going on, everybody? Welcome to Upkick MMA episode 467. I am Brendan. UFC Fight Night, Edwards versus Brady prelims. This is going to be Jai Herbert versus Chris Padilla. The rest of the prelims are going to go through all those fights, break them down round by round, talk about everything that happened. A little bit of weird scoring. We'll talk about that when we get to it. If you do like this kind of thing, real quick, subscribe to the channel. That way you know next video is coming out, and I'd really appreciate it. Costs you nothing, helps me out. Fantastic. Win-win. Win. I win too. Name that show. All right, let's talk about the featured prelim in Jai Herbert versus Chris Padilla. Not the most enthralling, let's put it that way. It was Herbert did a good job of keeping the pressure on. His strikes were decent. His activity was okay. The problem was just nothing landed. Nobody really landed anything significant in this first round. I don't know if we'll go through my notes and we'll talk about it, but I don't know if anything really significant landed the entire fight. Oh, yes. I think it was one shot. Yes, it was right at the end. Oh, yeah, and there was a cut, too. That was a significant strike, but it was more of a big cut that happened. It didn't rock him, right? Padilla looking to land that right hand as Herbert comes in, and Herbert doing a good job keeping Padilla on the warning track, that little area right on the outside of the cage. But not opening up. He's doing a good job pressuring, but just not opening up. Like, he's throwing stuff out there. It's just not throwing himself into the fire. He's not willing to take the risk. I understand it. That's fine. You're feeling stuff out, but the whole round did that. Neither guy landing anything significant with 1:30 left, so literally any shot could win this round. Padilla pushing him to the fence, landing some knees to the body and the legs. That won him this round. Padilla landed 9 strikes. Herbert landed 3. That's all we need to say. Okay, nothing difficult to score there. Same as the first round and for the first 2 minutes of the second round here. Padilla able to get into to the double unders, control that clinch yet again. 2 minutes left, back to the same thing. This round is really hard to score because in space, I think Herbert landed more damage. In the clinch, it was all Padilla. But for me, the damage was close enough to lean towards the control, and that was all Padilla. He controlled him. He outlanded him here 13-7. Like I said, in space, I felt like the distance strikes. Oh, he outstruck him in distance too, 11-7. So I guess he outstruck him everywhere. Anyway, I had Padilla up 20-18. Last round, same thing again. Padilla getting into the clinch again. Herbert did a good job getting off the fence fast this round. Continue his pressure, and the output has increased for both guys finally. And then Herbert hurts him, cuts him open, and then Padilla rocks him with the right hand. So they did both land a good shot. So I was wrong when I said that in the opening. My apologies. I'm sorry, Herbert. That was a good shot that you landed. Herbert should win this round, but it's just not enough for him. And there was that nasty cut over the left eye of Padilla, though. 28-17 for striking numbers in favor of Herbert in this last round. Scorecards. No surprise. Yes, there was a surprise. Good God. Okay. Daryl Ransom giving the first 2 rounds to Padilla. Like you should. Vito Palillo is the same way. Anders Olsen thinks that Jai Herbert won the second round. Getting outstruck and outdamaged, outcontrolled. What the fuck? It wasn't okay, whatever. Like I said, a close round. I don't want to harp on that one because I did say it was close when I watched it live. So based off of his viewpoint, where he was sitting, maybe he saw something I didn't. Maybe he saw more than we did. Okay. Whatever. Felipe dos Santos versus Lonnie Kavanagh. Both guys landing low kicks, so Santos going to the body and up top with his as well. Much more varied with his kick striking. Dos Santos strings the kicks together great with a 1-2 and landing hard with that right hand. Dos Santos warned multiple times about his fingers being in the cage. 3 times he was warned about pulling. So he's in the clinch, he's pressuring Lonnie to the cage and then holding on to the cage behind Lonnie, so he's pulling against the cage to keep him there. That's bullshit. It's illegal. You can't do it. And 3 times he was warned about it. You shouldn't even get 1 warning. It should just be an immediate point deduction. Maybe it's an accident. I don't give a shit. Be careful about where you're putting your freaking fingers. Just like if you stab him in the eye with them, it's not. Anyway, total bullshit. Should have been a point deduction. Whatever. Kavanagh just not having much success with the hands early. He's out of range, worried about what's coming back at him. And Dos Santos was doing a good job in space and able to land cutting elbows in the clinch. I had him up this round 15-11 for the striking numbers in favor of Dos Santos. I had him up 10-9. Second round, Dos Santos pressing him to the cage again, gets reversed, and then they start to fire, and Kavanagh got the better of it. In this instance, Dos Santos was forced to shoot because he is probably rocked, ends up on bottom, and Kavanagh landing some really good ground and pound. Lots of control time. Dos Santos is trying to upkick while he's in the guard. That's fucking illegal. It's also not the first time he did it. So anyway, that's an illegal strike to a downed opponent. Right? You cannot kick someone in the head when they're on the ground. Now, we can argue about the validity and of that rule, just like the 12-6 elbow that's now gone. Whatever. You can argue whether or not it should be in place, but it is in place. You have to abide by the rules. I don't care if you're on your back. If they're on their knees, they're a downed opponent, and he was kicking clearly at his head. He got lucky this round that he missed, but he was warned about it. This will play later. Dos Santos, he just clearly doesn't give a shit about the rules. A classic Nova União guy. Or no, he's from Chuto Box, not Nova União. Now I don't know where he fights out of. Makes sense, though. They just don't give a shit. If they do something illegal, they do something illegal because there's very little repercussions. Big round for Kavanagh, though, finding his path to victory, getting that takedown. Outstruck him 29-25. Spent 3 minutes and 36 seconds on top in control. Great round for Kavanagh. 19-19 going into the third round. Kavanagh having more success on the feet. Dos Santos just not as fast as he is landing with the hand. Kavanagh starting to land with the hands because Dos Santos isn't able to dart in and out, and his output has slowed down significantly. The low kicks are still there. The high kick lands for Kavanagh. Kavanagh getting the clean double back to where he found success in the second round, getting that takedown. Another time, Dos Santos kicks him in the head this time while they're on the ground. That's an illegal strike. Should have been an immediate point deduction. And honestly, if it's a pattern with a fighter where they're constantly doing illegal shit, as the UFC, I would kick them out. Kick them out. Because that gets into favoritism, though, because if you're a good fighter or a fun fighter, they're not going to kick you out. Oh, man. Like Michel Pereira. I mentioned him in the main one because of the girl coming out, the woman coming out and dancing. Man, I don't know what you do. As the UFC, what I would do is I'd put them on a short leash. If they show a tendency to keep breaking the rules, I would cut them. Make them fight 2 or 3 fights before they come back. I'm serious, because the commission's not doing shit. We've seen it already. You got Herb Dean in there, and like I went on a rant about this last week, so I'm not going to do it again. But best case scenario when someone cheats with the current way things are going is it's no effect on the overall fight. That's the best case scenario. Worst case scenario, somebody's doing something illegal and they hurt somebody and they damage them, right? Whether they're holding on to their, inside their glove and twist their wrist or weird, whatever they do, they could hurt somebody. Maybe they get to a submission that they shouldn't have got to, which we saw a few months ago, getting that arm bar, which was total bullshit. It's just, if they show a pattern of doing this, they're an unsafe fighter to be around. The game's already dangerous enough. We don't need to add in strikes that are techniques that are clearly illegal. Let's not have this shit, and the commission's not doing anything about it. So cut them. Fucking cut them. Because the UFC can. The UFC can do that. They don't have to wait for the commission. Mick Parkin versus Marcin Tybura. Oh, we didn't go over the scorecards. They're all the same. Lonnie Kavanagh won the last 2 rounds, which is correct. Marcin Tybura taking on Mick Parkin. Pretty technical heavyweight fight, right? Obviously, I don't want to hear it if someone goes these guys aren't world-class strikers. That's not technical. Okay, give me a break. Give them a break. This is heavyweights. Watch most heavyweights fight. These guys were pretty technical in their approach. All right, both guys opening up with low kicks. Tybura going to the body with straight. It doesn't mean it was interesting. Tybura going to the body with the straight, the lead hook. He digged to the body with punches a lot. I think in this first round, he landed 15 body shots. Tybura is more active and freezing Parkin halfway through this round. He's just stopping Parkin from getting his offense even really going. But then Parkin starts able to keep the pressure on for at least the last 60 seconds, finding more success. Tybura gets it back with 15 seconds left, ends with a takedown himself. Very close round, pretty technical round with Tybura, just more active despite what the live numbers said. Mick Parkin did outstrike him apparently, 23-21. I just didn't feel like he did enough damage, and it does have Parkin having 19 seconds of control. That makes more sense. It was about even. Tybura got the takedown. I mean, I had this for Tybura when I watched it live. I wouldn't go back on it now. It was close enough to where even that takedown was enough. I know that's stupid, but when the striking numbers are this damn close and when the damage was this damn close, it is what it is. All right, second round. Parkin catches a kick, gets on top and into side control. Parkin did a good job with ground and pound for the 3 minutes that he was on top. On the feet, both guys a little slower with Tybura not moving his head very well, right? And Parkin finding it much more with the straights. Gets another takedown. Tybura gets back up, but this was Parkin's round. He outstruck him 15-7. Really good to the head. Like I said, he landed 15 head strikes this round as opposed to the 13 from round 1. They were more significant in this round. Great round for Parkin. Last round, Tybura is back to the constant activity, going to the body, coming up top with the jab. Parkin has almost no output to start the round. With 2 minutes left, Tybura is way up with the activity, and Parkin needs to turn it up. Tybura should win this one. It depends on how they go with that first round, because like I said, it was relatively close, but I had Tybura winning this fight. Looking at the scorecards, all three judges, Daryl Ransom, Chris Lee, and Vito Paulillo, all had it the same way, Tybura getting the first and last round. That makes sense. It's not a robbery. In fact, in England, that's pretty weird. Usually, they have quite a bit of favoritism there. Usually, you see those local guys come out on top. Christian Leroy Duncan versus Andrey Pulyaev. This fight was not good. I mean, it takes two to tango. They said it multiple times, blah, 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 blah. But it's just... This fight was pretty boring. The kicks from Duncan and pressure are really great. Pulyaev waiting a lot to start, not throwing a ton out there. Duncan spinning and landing some good hooks and tight. The transition to the takedown clinch, or takedown to the clinch. The clinch seems to favor Duncan with Pulyaev finding some control, but he's spending too much time just waiting against the fence, mostly just clinch work this round, and not too much fun to watch. 10-9 Duncan, striking number 16-4 in favor of Duncan. Second round, Pulyaev trying to keep that distance, goes high with the kicks, but Duncan's mixing it up really well with the kicks to the body and then using the hands to get into the clinch yet again. Pulyaev just can't find anything. He's constantly being backed up. Duncan landing a great spinning elbow and a whole bunch of left straights. The commentary is talking about giving Pulyaev a warning for backing up too much. Total bullshit. That makes no sense. Where was all of this when the guy backing up is actually throwing strikes? It's the same thing. Right? If the guy backing up, it only is active when the forward-moving fighter moves into range, then it's the exact same thing. What if the other person just stood there? Right? That's happened before, and then they tell them both to engage. It's bullshit. If a dude's running away from you, he's running away from you. And then if you get into range with him, now he throws a punch and then runs away again. Like, I'm not saying it's not effective. It is effective. It's just fucking dog shit to watch. I have a 2018 Duncan. Duncan using that Muay Thai clinch to the shoulder strikes, which was really great. Just that palm clinch and just bam, bam, right into his shoulder. Fantastic. Boring fight though. 15 seconds left. Duncan lands a big right elbow and lands, but it didn't save this fight from being boring. 29-2 for striking numbers in favor of Duncan. Don't need to look at the scorecards. It was 30-27. Clear as day. This fight was fun. Shauna Bannon versus Puja Tomar. This fight was fun. I sound surprised because Bannon has a technique, very taekwondo, very, very taekwondo, lifting that lead leg up and bouncing around on that rear leg. Both ladies going with those side kicks to the thighs. Shauna with the first one in the to get to the clinch. Tamara is throwing some hard hooks, and if she can find success when she's moving forward, she can find success when she's moving forward, but she's just moving back way too much. She's being backed up by Bannon. All those side kicks and up to the face are Bannon as she's hopping on that back leg and kicking with the forward leg like she's freaking Bruce Lee or Jackie Chan. Tomar kicked her right in the junk. Multiple times she kicked her there, by the way. Tomar kind of landing with those hooks again after the break, and honestly, if she landed 4 or 5 of those, her damage would be much higher, but she didn't land enough of them. Bannon outstruck her 36-23, out-damaged her, out-activated her. That's pretty much it. So first round, 10-9 Bannon. Second round, more of the same with Bannon landing some punches and those kicks as she blitzes in. Then Bannon is actively complaining about being hit low again. She got kicked in the junk yet again, and then Tomar drops her with a big head kick after she complained. Like right after she complained, she clearly wasn't focused and gets dropped. So fucking stupid. Who was the guy? Lucas Bosaki. Jackwagon. Anyway, but then Bannon ends up getting into the armbar position, and Tomar stacks her. Proper armbar defense, stacks her, but doesn't walk around, doesn't do anything else. She just literally sits back down and puts her arm deeper into the armbar like she was giving the fight up. Wildest armbar defense I have ever seen. That's like day one bullshit. Like, that's as white belt as it gets. That was bad. It's a bad move by her. I hope that she learns from this mistake and moves forward, because she does hit hard and she can have some fun fights. But you can't do that and just give someone your arm. Nathan Fletcher versus Kaolan Loughran. That O-U-G-H always throws me with the English names. Kaolan Loughran using that lead hook, and Fletcher trying with that jab and the low kick. Fletcher finding more success with that low kick and the jab combo. And Loughran getting... God dang. I'm going to call him Kaolan. Normally I say, it's just... I'm going to say the last name so many different ways. It's not worth it. And like, I don't want to offend the guy. I don't want to pronounce his family name wrong constantly. Like Brendan Loughran, like I think it's Loughran. I think that's how you pronounce it. But I'm just going to call him Kaolan because at least I can just say that. Kaolan getting another takedown. Fletcher spins on top, finishes the round with more damage and counters. So I had Fletcher winning this round. He outdamaged him. He outstruck him here 15-12. I felt like the control time didn't do enough for Kaolan, so I had Fletcher winning this round 10-9. Second round, Fletcher able to pressure him to the cage and land some knees to the head from the hip ride position, climbs to the back standing. Fletcher landing some really good shots on the standing backpack. Kaolan finally able to get him down and pressuring forward, but he's so far behind he needs to drop him, and he doesn't. He got outstruck here 20-3. I clearly had this round for Fletcher. I didn't see how Kaolan could win this one. I had him down 20-18. Last round, Kaolan going for the grappling almost immediately, gets a takedown, just not able to control him. They get back up to the stand. He does get it back to the standing backpack, but loses it immediately, stays in tight with the body lock. Kaolan finding more success on the feet and able to sustain it and keep the pressure on. Good grappling round with about even damage. Fletcher outstruck him here 24-15, but I thought that was pretty close. This last round I gave to Kaolan, so I had it 29-28. Looking at the scorecards, though, that's not how people saw it. What? They gave that to Puja, both of them gave it to Puja, to Tomar, Daryl Ransom, Chrisley, you fucking idiots. Anyway, Ben Cartledge gave that first and last round to Kaolan. Vita Paulilo saw it the exact same way, and Anders, so they're cheating off each other's homework. And then Anders Olsen giving the last two rounds to Fletcher. But not the first round. What the shit? They all gave that first round to Kaolan. I didn't feel like he did enough damage. I really didn't. I don't agree with that one. I don't agree. All right. Kaue Fernandes versus Guram Kutateladze. Kutateladze is pressure. Oh, yeah. I was like, man, I don't really remember this. This is why. Kutateladze is pressuring. He's just not getting into range. And then Fernandes is doing a great job using the kicks to keep him on the outside. Fernandes is pushing him away anytime he gets into range. A head kick from Fernandes drops Kutateladze for a second. And I don't know if Kutateladze landed a single strike. It says he did. I just didn't feel like he did. 26-7 in favor of Fernandes. Second round, and holy shit, a leg kick drops Kutateladze. Fernandes follows him to the ground, but lets him up for some reason. And it follows him to the ground for some reason, finally lets him up. Should have just stood him up immediately and kicked that leg again. And Kutateladze having to change stances. Now he's fighting southpaw the entire time. And, Fernandes just throwing hard kicks and backing up. Oddly enough, not taking the front foot. Still okay, just backing up, right? Like, he was talking about wanting to finish and do all this stuff, but he played this fight so safe after that knockdown that I can't take it. Like, he just wanted to win. I understand that. That's fine. But if you're going to come in and say, I need to finish, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this, that's not what happened. And I don't want anybody going in there and saying, like, look how impressive his performance was. Like, the dude was literally walking away during the entire fight, and then he would counter. He played this as safe as possible. Like I said before, this is not an uncommon technique, and it's also very effective. So I'm not going to sit here and say that it doesn't work. It does. But don't come at me with the, oh, I need to finish, and oh, I need to make more exciting. You're not. Kutateladze was having some success on the feet, just not landing enough in the second round. He gets taken down. Like, I don't know what Fernandes was doing. He took him down at the end of this round, outstruck him 30-9, like, whatever. If Fernandes wanted make a statement, this isn't going to do it. He's just playing it way too safe. There you go. I wrote that down. The other leg gets kicked out. Fernandes plays the one up, one down game. Like, he just lets him stay on the ground, doesn't even really kick at his legs, doesn't force him to stand up right away. Instead, like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Again, I know, I think I know what he's doing, which is looking for the victory, and he found the easiest path to victory. This was a bad fight to watch. 23-13 for striking numbers in favor of Fernandes, and he clearly won 30-27. So, did anybody give a 10-8 round for any of those? Nope. No 10-8s the entire night, which is fine. That's fine. That's it for the prelims. Thank you guys for stopping by. I hope you guys enjoyed the fights, and if you didn't go watch them, oh boy, would I go out of my way. I'd watch the main card. There's enough on there, enough fun stuff to watch, and then that main event is important for the division. So I would go watch that main card. There wasn't any crazy barn burners. You can skip the prelims. If you're really into UFC, I mean, I would go back and watch it. It wasn't horrible to watch, but anyway, appreciate you for stopping by. It means a lot to me. Subscribe to the channel if you do like this stuff, and if you did like this video, hit the like button. I appreciate that too. So thank you guys so much. It means a lot to me that you guys hang out here and you get your UFC like news or the fight recaps from me. I really appreciate it. So hope you guys have an amazing week. Love y'all. Peace.